Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Normal is broken, common sense is weird, so we're here to help you transform your life. From the Ramsey Network in the Fairwinds Credit Union Studio, this is the Ramsey Show. The phone number to jump in is 888-825-5225. Alongside the fabulous Jade Warshaw, I'm Ken Coleman. We're here together. She's going to help you save and spend the money. I'm going to help you make more money. That's my role here on the Ramsey Show. I got to remind people from time to time.
I like that.
I'm going to help you win at work. 2 ways to win with money. We got to make sure we're controlling the outflow, and we want to get more inflow, if you will. So there it is. That's how we tag team. We start off with Bill, who is joining us in New Jersey. Bill, how can we help today?
Hi, guys. How are you doing today?
We're doing well. What's going on?
So, yeah, I'm calling because I'm in a bit of a situation here with some college loans that I have, some student loans that are they're Parent Plus loans, though, so they're under my father's name, and but I'm the one paying them. They're about 3 different loans. They total to about $70K in total between the 3. And they have about 7% interest rate. At the moment, I've been paying about $450 a month on them, but I just did the calculations, and with the interest rate, it doesn't look like I'm going to be paying them off anytime soon with that.
Nope.
So I was just looking for some guidance there on what to do.
All right. So
I do have some other debts as well.
Obvious question. These loans your dad took out were for your education. True or false?
True.
Okay. And what are you doing for a living?
At the moment, I'm a manager at a Jersey Mike's. I actually ended up dropping out during COVID. They wanted me to pay full tuition for online classes, and I was not about that.
What were you in school to do?
Originally, I was a biochem major, and I was planning on a pre-med track, but that first year, I really did not enjoy it, and I decided, all right, I'm not going to want to do this the rest of my life. Happy I got out then instead of going into more debt for medical school. And then, it's kind of in like an in-between area, and then we all got sent home, and, I didn't end up picking anything.
So what are you making now at Jersey Mike's?
I make about $90K a year.
Okay, and that's a management position?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other ideas for your future?
I would like to go into franchising and continue with the quick service.
Okay.
industry.
So you found your spot.
That's cool.
That's great.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Okay, great.
I came back after over COVID, fell in love. We realized this is what I want to do.
Okay, great. That checks that box. So now we bring Jade in here and we start going, okay, let's knock this out. Let's get her the full picture. Beyond the $70,000 in over 3 student loans, what other debt do you have? Give us the full picture.
So I have about $4,500 on a credit card. I've been pretty aggressively or trying to aggressively paying that off at the moment. I do also have about $3,000 left on a car loan.
Okay.
And I also have $9,000 of my own student loans as well.
So
in
tell
my
me,
name.
what was the deal on the student loans? Did you know from the beginning that you were going to be on the hook for those Parent Plus loans, even though it was just your dad's name on the note?
I did not know they existed.
Oh, how did you find out?
So, because my uncle is a co-signer on them, and so I was paying the ones that were in my name, and I was doing that all. Actually, I started paying them early before I even had to, because I did not want them gaining more interest and going
So it was
up.
your uncle and your dad. Your uncle and your dad took these out?
Yeah. So my dad took them out, and my uncle had to co-sign on those loans for them.
How did you think education was being paid for? When you were showing up for class, in your mind, how was it being paid for?
So I knew I had to have some loans, but when I was filling out the FAFSA and doing that stuff with my dad, I was under the impression that I had grants and that it was, that I had gotten assistance from the school.
So you thought the $9,000
a lot more.
You thought the $9,000 was it, and everything else was grants and help. real
So
help.
the 9,000 is what's left. It was originally 20,
Got
but
you.
I've paid it down to 9 so far.
So, how did it come to be that you're paying for loans that you didn't even know were being taken out? How did that happen? Did your uncle call you up? Your dad called?
Yeah, I got an email from my uncle saying, like, hey, why haven't you been paying your student loans? And I was very taken aback because I was like, I have been. Like, I started doing it early. I don't know what you're talking about. I showed him my loans as well. And then, he pulled up what he had, and he showed me, no, they're past due. Like, I don't know what
Listen,
this is. And then we figured it out. And then my father finally was like, oh, yeah, like, I had to do that.
listen, I'm not in the business of splitting up families or, trying to cause drama between families. This is so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
It's really messed up.
It's a polite way of saying it.
Yeah, it is. And I want to know, tell me, but it might not be as messed up if I hear your side of it. In your mind, are you like, this is my responsibility, I'm happy to pay it, it was my education, it makes sense to me, Jade, I'm cool? Or is this something that causes you a bit of resentment and anger, and is it problematic for you emotionally?
Half and half. I'm definitely not going to let it get in between my relationship with me and my father. And any means, he's been a great dad, nothing like that. I was definitely a little frustrated with him because about 2 years ago, I was looking to move out. And I did end up moving out. But before I did, a similar situation happened with my brother as well, where he had student loans that he was not aware of that my father did also take out. I don't know if they were under his name or under my brother's name in that situation, but, I just remember him being pretty upset not knowing about those.
Yeah.
So before I moved out, I went to my father and asked him, I was like, hey, do I have any other student loans that I'm not aware of that I should be paying right now before I move out? Because if I did know that I had this $70K, I probably would not have moved out when I did. I would have stayed home and try to put more of my resources towards these to get them paid down.
And how long after the fact?
My dad was like,
how long after the fact that they were due did you find out about them? Because after 6 months they become due upon graduation. So how long?
Yeah, I think there was some for like I forget what it's called, but they were like pushed back or delayed because of COVID, and there was a lot of stuff there.
But and you didn't know all that time that you could have been paying them off interest free. You didn't know about them.
I did not know about.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna be flat out honest with you. I love relationships. I love that you are honoring your parents. This is bothering me. Now, if you tell me this is your life, so you can decide. If you tell me, Jade, I'm just going to go ahead and pay it, can you please move on with the advice? Fine. The advice would be for me, you need to take all the debts, credit cards, car, student loans, list them smallest to largest. Based on what you told me, we need to be tackling the car first. All your extra money after you've paid minimum payments, all the extra needs to go on that card, knock it out fast. And then next would be the credit cards. Next would be the student loan. And then you'd start tackling the $70,000 student loan in chunks. But if it were me, I'd be having a serious conversation. And at the very least, I'd say, I'm paying half of this because I didn't know about it. And I had an opportunity to take care of it when there was no interest, and you didn't do me the service of even telling me about it. So you're on the hook for half, and it's not in your name.
I agree. Well said. Amen. Pass the plates.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. All right, this time of year can be tough, so I want you to make sure you check on your friends and your loved ones and even reconnect with people you haven't talked to in a while. I recently called one of my childhood friends, and we had an amazing catch-up conversation. We laughed hard, and we talked about the struggles we've been having. It was fantastic. And just like it can take a little courage to send that message or grab coffee with someone you haven't seen in a while, reaching out for therapy can also feel hard, but it can be worth it. If you're thinking about therapy, I recommend BetterHelp. With over 30,000 therapists, they've served over 5 million people globally, and they have an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 stars. It's totally online, so it's easy to fit into your schedule. To get started, you just answer a few simple questions, and BetterHelp will connect you with a licensed therapist. If it's not the right fit, you can switch therapists at any time for no extra cost. This month, don't wait to reach out. Visit BetterHelp.com/Ramsey to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Ramsey.
Jenny is up next in Atlanta, Georgia. Jenny, how can we help today?
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
You're doing great. We're going to take good care of you.
Thank you. My husband and I are getting a late start. We don't have any retirement. We don't have a house. I'm 45. He's 51. We have debt. We want to know what we can do to catch up. He's not as gung-ho as I am, but he's getting there. He kind of kept the debt from me, and we're trying to live correct right now in every area possible. We have counseling we're paying for because of trauma we've been through. I'm working 3 jobs. He's working 2. So it's just kind of a lot right now.
Okay. So it sounds like we're getting very busy. Sounds like you guys are trying to make more money and come after this, correct?
Yes, we've been trying for the last few months. He kind of was doing it on his own, and when I kind of found out more about it, he we got kind of more aggressive about it.
What was the debt? What was the debt that he kept from you?
We have about $30,000 debt plus the cars, so $50,000. And I knew we had a little bit, but I never knew how much. He just always told me he was taking care of it. And
yes, but what I'm asking, what was the debt? Obviously, the cars you probably knew about, but what was the other debt that you didn't know anything about?
Mm-hmm.
We have a debt consolidation loan, and there was some credit cards. My insurance isn't good, so we've had some medical debt. Mm-hmm. We have IRS that we have to pay.
So it wasn't, I'm just trying to get a read on this. It wasn't what we call financial infidelity where he was hiding all kinds of expenditures. You just weren't paying attention, and you guys kind of got behind the 8 ball, and then he tried to consolidate. I'm just trying to get an understanding of when you say, I didn't know about it, where are you guys emotionally on this deal? Where does it stand?
Yeah, it wasn't like he was out spending stuff per se, but a lot of restaurants and stores and nothing major, but things like that.
Right.
And I just felt like I was supposed to be the submissive wife and not really involved in the money. And I had the wrong mindset. Mm-hmm. And now that I do, we're trying to do it right, but it's really hard to break the habit.
Got it.
To not go to restaurants and things like that.
Okay. And so one other question here, because Jade's going to jump in, but I'm just kind of gathering some facts.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So you guys have tried. He's tried on his own. Now he makes you aware of it. Now you're going, okay, gosh, we don't like the way this feels. We're going after this. But you started the call by saying, I'm ready to go all in. I'm calling the Ramsey show today. He's sort of kind of not there. What is he not on board? I just, that'll help us. Where is he not on board with where you are?
I mean, he is mostly, but I'm trying to live for the Lord. I mean, we're both trying to live for the Lord in every way possible. And just money's kind of not his focus right now. He's trying to get healed in other ways. And
got it. Is this a priority right now? You're kind of talking a little bit in riddles.
That's right.
And I think it's because you're trying to protect delicate information, it seems like. But I want to ask you, is money the most important thing you need to be is walking the baby steps the most important thing you need to be worried about right now, or are there other fires that are more important that need to be put out?
I mean, I guess I kind of want to do both. We're trying to get our money right, but we're trying to get everything else right in our life at the same time. And I know counseling is a huge priority for us that I don't want to give up.
Right.
All right. So how much are we spending on that a month?
$1,000.
Okay.
Because it's for me and my husband and my daughter.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. Great.
Good.
But that gives us something to work with. So we've got $1,000 a month, Jade, that we want to protect at all costs.
Fine.
And I love
keep it on
that.
there. Keep it on there.
Okay.
I asked that question because money is important. Ken, you already know. It touches everything, Jenny, and you can see this. It touches your relationships, your job, your spirituality, all of it, right? It's all encompassing. That being said, sometimes in an attempt to not focus on other things, we focus on the baby steps, being intense about that. This is the thing I'm going to focus on when really your marriage is falling apart, right? And so what I don't want you to do is focus on the wrong thing.
Yep.
If what you're telling me is, Jade, we want to do it, I just simply want to know, is it okay for me to keep $1,000 aside for counseling? Yeah, the answer is yes. You have to be a well person. That's like me telling you that walking the baby steps is not an excuse to eat ramen noodles. Like, you need to be healthy. You need to do this the right way. So
I don't know why you had to single out ramen noodles, but we'll talk about that later.
Sodium alone can.
So yeah, let's walk through the numbers.
$1,000 on counseling, I'm fine with that. Tell me what you guys bring in a month. And then we can talk about what's going to feel realistic for you in this season when you're so heavily getting the mental help that you guys all need.
Thank you. We bring in about $7,500 a month.
Okay, $7,500 a month. How much of that is rent?
$1,900.
Okay, great. Okay, so biggest expenses, $1,900 on rent, $1,000 on counseling. Any daycare or anything like that I need to know about? Like high dollar stuff?
Yeah, my daughter's tuition is $300. Okay. I'm on a medicine that's $550, but I donate plasma, so I mainly pay for that out of that money. Okay,
so that's kind of a wash on the $550. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, I'm seeing $3,200 that's going away in must-haves. What's happening to the other $37?
Paying off debt, groceries, just different bills like that. I feel like.
And when you put all that in your budget, how much are you putting extra on the debt? Not minimum payments, but above and beyond a minimum payment. How much are you putting extra?
I mean, we're trying to, but we don't have like a set number. It's just kind of like whatever we have left over, we do.
Okay, so that's what we'll fix. That's what we'll fix today. Because if you guys are on fixed, you get basically paid the same amount every 2 weeks or every month, whatever, what have you, then this should be like clockwork. So what I need is for you guys to get on an every dollar budget. And if you don't have one, do you have one?
Yeah, I do have the every dollar.
Okay, so when you open up every dollar, it should be really cut and dry for you, Jenny, to be able to see, okay, we make $7,500, $1,900 goes to rent, $1,000 to counseling, $300 to school. Because of my plasma, we only pay $100 for the medication, right? All of that's in the budget. And then it's going to show you after all the things that must be done, gas, groceries, insurance, there's going to be a number up there. In your case, it should be in the green of extra money that is now, okay, what do we want to do with this money? And here's the thing, Jenny, the choices are, we can put this extra money towards DoorDash. We can put this extra money towards a vacation that we want to go on. We can put this extra money towards a slush fund that just gets eaten away with by going to the gas station and gets eaten away with by running to Sonic, right? Or we can say, at the end of every month, we have $1,300, and that is going on the smallest debt every month, no matter what, like clockwork. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what you were talking to Ken about earlier, about the kind of, we just need to start doing it part, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's just, getting there, I guess, is hard.
And you tell me the emotion that you feel when you know the money is there, but you do something else. Is it, I work really hard, I just deserve this? Is it, I'm just so tired? Is it, I'm frustrated? Tell me what you're feeling that's causing you not to do the thing.
I get frustrated. I know restaurants is really like our weakness, and like we say we're not going to go, and then we go, and just, changing and living that new lifestyle is pretty hard. And
I think it's
getting to that point.
You want to know? I think it is just listening to you. I think you're scared. I think you're afraid. I think you've seen life one way, and the idea of it looking different scares you.
Well, I agree with that. And I also would say that now hearing what we know, I think it's hard enough going through therapy, trying to change our life, deal with the trauma, whatever hurt is attached to all this. Can we reset our family? And that on its own is exhausting.
Yeah,
I think it's hard to go, come on, babe, you need to join me on this debt-free journey too.
You're right, Ken.
So I do think it is fear of the confrontation and how exhausting it is. But I do think that I would take this to the therapist and go, hey, did a phone call. we're trying to do this money thing. Can you coach us in this therapy about how important it is that we get on the same page there? I would take it to the professional help. Love that you're spending $1,000 a month.
Yep.
But you guys have got to lean in on every issue. Take that and use that $1,000, and it's going to benefit.
You know, when I became a dad, something flipped. Suddenly, it wasn't just about me and my wife anymore. It was, what happens to my family if I'm not here tomorrow? And things like that just hit different when you become a parent. But I'll be honest, making a will feels heavy and complicated, and it's not exactly what I want to be doing with my time off. But here's the deal. Being a parent means doing the hard stuff, especially stuff that protects your family. And that's why I used Mama Bear Legal Forms. No hassle, no lawyers, just a simple online tool that helped me create a legit will in about 20 minutes. So it was pretty much painless. Plus, I added a notch to my dad belt right there between installing car seats and bedtime stories. Listen, being a dad never stops, and making a will is how you make sure your family's covered even when you're not there. So get your will done today at mamabearlegalforms.com and use the promo code Ramsey to save 20% off when you check out. Again, that's mamabearlegalforms.com, promo code Ramsey.
All right, folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Can you believe that? Talking about it now. It feels like it's getting earlier and earlier.
It is. I put
know?
up my tree. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Trees.
Oh, yeah. Trees.
Yeah.
And by the way, the weekend after Halloween,
Yeah.
Mrs. Coleman said, head on up to the attic area.
That's right. That's the job.
By the way, if you see me and I look a little stiff today on camera, it's because I pulled a muscle on the right upper side of the old back trying to
Yank it out of the attic.
heave a Christmas tree box. And I'm thinking to myself, I have a strong young man who's 17 years of age. Why didn't I wait for him?
This is your plight in life, Ken. He'll have his time.
I know.
He'll have his time.
I just wanted to get it over with, and you learn a lesson. But the Ramsey Christmas deals are here. We don't create the fury. We just go along with it. And boy, oh boy, are these good deals. These prices won't last. You've got $13 best-selling hardcovers, $12 questions for human decks, $7.99 audiobooks and ebooks, $20 assessments. Hello, the old Get Clear assessments
There you
in
go.
there. And I would love for y'all to get the Get Clear career assessment. It'll help you.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids need new shoes.
Especially in the new year, to know where you want to go with your life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's a far more redeeming reason. I was just blatantly saying, hey,
Kids need new shoes?
I got kids in college.
kid needs back care.
I got back. Yeah, I'm going to need to go see the chiropractor. But hey, you can get all the great deals at RamseySolutions.com/store, RamseySolutions.com/store. Or if you're on YouTube or podcast, you can click on the link in the show notes. John is up in Colorado. John, how can we help?
Hey, very glad I got you today, Ken, and you, Miss Warshaw.
Thank you.
But it's a career question that I had.
Okay.
So I currently work for the state of Colorado. It's a relatively safe job, as you can imagine, with the government, but we've seen lately that may not be the case. But anyway, it's a relatively safe job. I absolutely love what I do. It gives me the ability to do some other side gigs and authorship of some books I write. So I have a pretty good life, a good career. I love what I do. But there's always that looming question of should I go into the private sector again and possibly make quite a significant amount more?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's a question of, do I continue to sacrifice enjoyment and safety over, trying to put myself better ahead from, more financially? That's kind of what the gist of my question is.
Okay, appreciate that. Let's break this down a little bit more, because I don't think you've got the proper context for your choice. But let's see. I could be wrong.
Okay, good.
So what do you make in the government job there in Colorado? By the way, is it a federal government job or a Colorado state?
State.
Okay,
It's a
state job.
state job.
All right, what do you make?
Yep. 120.
And what would you say you do?
120,000.
I don't care so much about your title. What do you do?
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, no, I'm a land surveyor. So I work for the Department of Transportation, and I, do land surveying for the new construction of roads or improvement.
What do you love most about that work? Or what do you enjoy most about it?
The people I work with, it's considered, a very good land surveying job. I'm doing land survey work. I'm not doing.
I get it, but you're going off. I want you to answer me
and,
very literally. I'm going somewhere to answer your question. So I asked you, what do you enjoy most about the work? And you said the people. That's a perfectly fine answer. Anything else that meets the enjoy description about the work itself? Don't give me it's safe.
Going outside.
Okay, outside. Great. What else?
The projects are pretty cool. I get to help the public. It feels like I'm truly a public servant.
Great. Good answers. All right. So you mentioned that you believe, which leads me to believe you've done some research, that if you were to go do something else in the private sector, you could make a good bit more money. How much more money, and would you be in the same land surveying, in the same industry if we use that word?
Yes.
How much more money then?
I've done a lot of research, and I've done research, and I have job offers to prove that I could probably make $30,000 to $40,000 more a year. And yes, the job will be comparable, but there's a lot more stress involved, a lot more hours, and all the typical private sector stuff.
Well, I see. I'm a guy who's worked in both. So full disclosure, when I was a young guy in my early 20s, I worked for the governor of Virginia. So I lasted 12 months, Jade. I could not handle the pace of government work.
Slow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The way the decisions are made, it is a lot more low key is what I'm hearing from you, John. But the trade-off is you're not getting paid what you should be and could be making. So the next question is when you come to us and you say, should I change my job for more money? The question is, what would we do with more money? So let's say you make $150. What would you do with that additional money? Where would that go in your life? Is that paying off debt? Is that investing more? Is that enjoying life more? What's the rest of the story?
It'd be investing more and enjoying life. I'm completely debt free. I own my own home. I have no debt. Save like 25% of my check as it is.
Yeah.
But I do have dreams of, building a home in the mountains, and I'm trying to cash flow that. And
well, I'm going to tell you right now, ding, ding, ding. There's the answer. I would absolutely go private sector and deal with maybe a little bit more stress. I'm not sure that we can guarantee that. And deal with a little bit more hours in order to fast forward or guarantee. Based on the narrative you've given me, the private sector allows you to do that faster and with more certainty. True or false?
It does. It does.
Done deal. Jade, we always answer, what would we do? We've heard my answer. I would absolutely go private sector, and I would invest more, and I would see if I could climb the ladder even higher than what you've researched. What would you do in his situation?
I mean, I'm going to go part emotional, part tactical. For me, after knowing what the answer is, which is, we're going private sector, I would then run out the numbers so that I can get emotionally attached to it. So that I can see, hey, if I'm earning $40,000 a year, that means I'm going to get to my dream of my cabin or house in the mountains 5 years faster, right?
40,000 more.
Right.
Yeah, 40,000 more. I want to see that math. I want to know those numbers. I want to know that timeline so I can create a tie with that. If I don't do this, I'm not going to have the house until 2040. If I do have the house, I'm going to have it in 2035, right? Like knowing that allows you to get excited about it, allows you to create milestones, allows you to do all the things that are going to keep your excitement when the hours feel long, when you're wondering if you never should have made this decision, right? So that's what I would do. I would really make this so crystal clear, understanding what I'm trading and what I'm getting in return for my trade.
Yeah, I think that's so beautiful. John, I think that's homework assignment. Yeah, I think that's a great exercise. Here, I'll give you the last piece on this. There's been several books, lots of research done on patients who are in hospice care and how they share their regrets with their loved ones, with their caretakers. There's multiple pieces of work on this that you all can go kick the tires on. But one of the constants, one of the consistent regrets that we hear from those that are know that their time is nigh and they're going to die soon is, I regret that I didn't live the life that I truly wanted to live. And John, you gave us a pretty clear vision for how you'd like things to go in the future. And I think that beyond Jade's exercise, I think I love her. I love that that prompt she gave you. But I would add to that, if I don't do this, will I be on my deathbed regretting that I never went for it? Because the safe government job is always going to be there. But I kept hearing safety, safety, safety. And I would challenge that to say, the way we teach you to manage your money, which is we save up for it, we make solid, strong investments that are diversified, that have a track record. We don't buy something we don't have money for. All of those things are safe, but they ultimately lead to a life of adventure. And I think that's what you're craving. So, my friend, we have spoken on the matter. What will you do, John?
I know what he's doing.
If you've got collectors breathing down your neck and you're drowning in credit card debt, you don't need another debt relief company trying to sell you sunshine and unicorns. You need real help. And Guardian Litigation Group is the real deal. They're not a call center. They're actual attorneys. That means when a creditor tries to sue you, they can step into the courtroom and fight back. Now listen, debt settlement isn't pretty. It's not a magic wand, and I'd prefer you get out of debt the old-fashioned way. But if you're staring down bankruptcy and you've got no other way out, Guardian gives you a path to clean up the mess without paying a dime up front. Guardian's attorneys have helped over 55,000 people across the nation settle over $600 million of debt. So if you're ready to take back control of your life and stop cringing every time the phone rings, go to guardianlit.com/Ramsey. That's guardianlit.com/Ramsey.
Paid endorsement, attorney advertising, Guardian Litigation Group, LLP. Not available in Minnesota and Oregon. Results vary and no specific outcome is guaranteed. Debt settlement may negatively affect credit and not all creditors will negotiate or settle. Savings vary and may be taxable. Please review our website terms for more information.
All right, let's go to Richmond, Virginia. Sydney joins us there. Sydney, how can we help?
Hi, how are y'all doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So my husband and I are trying to figure out how to best handle our debt. So we own my car outright, but he still has an auto loan, and he also has some student loans, but we also have a 7-month-old. And so we are trying to be cautious about how aggressively we tackle our debt. We do have a mortgage, of course, but and we have $30,000 in savings, and we're just trying to figure out how best to tackle our debt and efficiently tackle it as well.
All right. So tell me what the car loan is.
So we have $18,955.81 remaining on that.
All right. And what is that car worth? Do you know if you sold it private sale?
I would maybe say around 30,000, maybe.
Okay. All right. Just wanting to know. And then student loan debt, what is the total?
The remaining on that is $8,952.85.
Look at you. I love that you're giving us to the cent, by the way. You
I
are
do too.
on this, Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the totality of debt. We're not counting the house. So that's it.
Yes, that's it.
And you got $30,000 in the bank.
Yes.
Savings. And how long have you been listening to the Ramsey Show or paying attention to what we teach here at Ramsey Solutions?
Not as long as my husband. My husband is a big fan of y'all's. He has been listening for a lot longer than me, but
is he there with you now?
He is not. He is at work. He's a sheriff's deputy, and so he's tied up at work now.
Did he
I
know?
told him I would call.
Okay, so he put you up to calling us.
he said it would be cool if I did.
Okay,
Well-
here's what's funny about this. Because if he's been following us and he's big fans, he knows what we're going to say about that $30,000 in savings, doesn't he?
I think he does, but I told him that
You do
I
too.
am a little bit scared.
Yeah,
Right.
you opened with that. You said you were feeling cautious, and I was interested in knowing what that meant. And then
Now we
as the
know.
information unraveled, now I know exactly what it means.
She's freaking out over us telling her to take $29,000.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, we leave a little,
27.
actually, we get to leave some in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
what? Let me paint you a picture. Let me just paint you a picture. You're completely debt free. You have not one debt in the world. No one can come after you. No one can take anything from you. You got $3,000 sitting in the bank. All of your income when you get paid in November will go to you. No more payments to a car. No more payments to a student loan. Then you can take all that money that you were paying for a car payment, all that money that you were paying for student loans, and you could just drop it over in savings. Before you know it, you'll have $5,000. Before you know it, you'll have $10,000, and you don't owe anybody anything. And you've got a 1-year-old at home, and you've got 4 months of savings, and you've got no debt. How awesome does that feel?
It sounds amazing, and because it is so true. We are a slave to our debt, and my only concern and fear is, heaven forbid something happened to one of our vehicles, something happened to, the HVAC or whatever. That was a big ticket item.
You want to know what I love that you're doing? Here's what I love about what you're doing. You are putting detail to your fears. Okay, because you said you were cautious, which really was amounting to a fear that you were facing about this. And there's really 2 ways to have fear about this. One is an irrational fear, and the other is rational. Usually the irrational ones are very vague. It's like, oh, if we do this, it's going to ruin everything. Well, what do you mean by that? But you got detailed and you said, well, here's the thing, Jade, what if our car goes out? Okay. That is totally rational. So let's fix it. Now we can look at it and go, okay, well, let's put some truth to this. The truth is you make a monthly income, don't you?
Yes.
How much do you guys make every month?
Combined, it's about $6,400 a month.
Okay. And how much of that are you putting towards your debt payments every single month? Plus extra because you're trying to pay them off.
Plus the savings account you guys have been
Well,
building.
I'm getting to that. How much are you putting aside?
So his income pays for all of the bills. All of my income just goes into savings. So I make about $1,400 a month because I went part-time since we had our son.
So you've got the $1,400, and then you've got the
that goes into
$3,000.
savings.
You've got the $3,000 that's already there. So have you ever had a car, something happen with your car that costs more than $4,400 to fix?
Not yet. I hope I don't.
Will you go and Google something that you think will cost $4,400 to fix? Because I don't think it's there.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So do you see what I did there? All I did was I took a fear that's okay for you to have, totally normal, and I just ran it through a process of saying, first off, is it true? Is it rational? We decided it is. That's fine. And then we said, is there something that's more true that we can replace it with so that we can actually go ahead and do the thing that's going to set us free? Do you see what I did there?
Yes.
There is not something that you cannot cash flow in the next month. Do you see what I'm saying? And then as you go, you're going to keep saving, like Ken said.
Well, what's the car payment?
It's $497 a month.
Okay, let's round that up to $500. What's the student loan payment?
Like $180.
Okay.
All right, so let's round that up. I'm going to round that up to
$200.
$700 on top of your $1,400. Now all of a sudden we've got $2,100 a month we're putting straight to savings to rebuild the emergency fund that you did out of order.
Plus the $3,000 that's there.
Plus the $3,000. So we're at $5,100 within 30 days of being debt free. $5,100 in savings.
So what else could happen in 30 days that the sky would fall? I can't think of anything that insurance wouldn't pay for. Do you see what I'm saying? So now we see it was okay. It was okay for you to feel scared. It was okay. But now we go, hey, now that we add it to the truth of what's really going on, now it becomes irrational, right? It would be silly for you not to pay off this debt.
And I think you guys have more margin than you're even reporting to us because we're not digging. And so how quickly could you guys get to $10,000 in savings after paying all of this off in one fell swoop? That's another fun exercise. How quickly can I get to 10,000 so that your fear gland, stops being so, and we just like, oh, it relaxes. So that's what we're going to tell you to do. It's what we tell everybody to do.
Pay it off.
Pay it off. And what you want to know what I'm giving
And
you
you're
permission to
free.
do? Pay it off. And in 2 months, if it was the worst thing you ever did, call me back and tell me about myself. Call me back and say, hey, Jade said I could come on the radio and cuss her out for the terrible advice she gave me. You won't do it because you're going to be like, this is the best thing ever. I'm debt free. And I've got 3 to 6 months of expenses. And I'm so glad that Jade and Ken talked me into doing the next best step with my money instead of me letting fear hold me back. That's what's going to happen.
It sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good, but it doesn't feel good. And that's your challenge. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think you're on the fence. I think you're on the fence as to whether or not you're going to do this.
She's going to go home and she's going to mull it over. And I expect you to. All right. I think you would be kind of crazy to just 2 people on the radio told me to do something. I'm doing it. No, go be. I want you to be very thoughtful about what we told you. I want you to think about it. And if you give it fair thought, I promise you, you will see that we're right. You'll see that we're right.
And my husband uses the app, the Every Dollar app, and he has showed me numerous times what our leftover money would be if we didn't have these debts. And is the fears are louder than the positives of it, but at the same time, like you said, I need to be realistic about if something did happen.
Fear and caution are two different things. Fear and caution are two different things. Fear is what's going to stop you. It's I don't know what's it's a perception of the future that's negative. That's what fear is. It's not based on today. It's based on what you think is going to happen in the future, right?
Right.
Quick question. What's the amount that you would let go of today to get rid of debt? Of the $30,000, how much would you go? Oh, I'll let go of this and I'll feel fine. I'm just curious.
I would pay off the auto loan.
Let's do that today and then sleep on the rest of the idea. How about that?
I like that.
How about that?
I like that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Do 18. Do 18 and then take Jade up on her offer.
Okay.
You didn't know I was going to do that
I like that, Ken. I'm with it.
I like it. Let's try
baby
it.
steps.
Hey guys, it's open enrollment time for health insurance. And if you have ever felt overwhelmed trying to figure out your healthcare costs, you are not alone. For a lot of families, healthcare is one of the biggest line items in the budget, and it gets more confusing every year. But you don't have to settle. Christian Healthcare Ministries is a biblical and budget-friendly alternative to health insurance, and I am proud to recommend them. With CHM, you are joining a community of believers who actually help share each other's medical bills. Yeah, it's true. Members have shared over $12 billion in healthcare costs since CHM started nearly 45 years ago. And it's simple. You choose your provider with no network limits. You submit your eligible bills online, and other members help share your expenses. CHM has program options for every stage of life, whether you're single, self-employed, or raising a family. Y'all, open enrollment has a lot of people scrambling right now, but CHM lets you join anytime. So go to chministries.org/budget to check them out. That's chministries.org/budget.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio. Alongside Jade Warshaw and Ken Coleman. So excited that you're with us today. 888-825-5225 is the phone number. New Jersey is where we're going to go, and James is hanging out there. James, how can we help?
Hey, Ken and Jade, good to hear from you both.
Sure.
Thanks for taking my call. So I was just laid off from my corporate job about 3 weeks ago, and the good news is I have a decent severance package where I'll be okay for at least the next 6 months, give or take, not too much. And I have a fully funded emergency fund. After hearing about that, my pastor actually asked me to help him with a new startup, basically, that he's launching. It's a for-profit business, but the streaming service, it's a streaming service. It's all pre-revenue, still waiting to finalize details on investors. So right now, they have no money to pay employees, basically. And it has a pretty promising future that I can't really talk too much more about, but the team that is currently, quote-unquote, employed with the service all have other jobs and other forms of income. I would basically be the only one that would be working full-time without any alternative income other than the severance package. So I guess my question is, if I were to pursue this, I'm not as concerned about my finances because it seems to be okay, at least for the next 6 months. But if I'm devoting 40 hours a week to the startup with literally no contract, no employment agreement, no guarantee about eventually being compensated, it's all based on like a very loose verbal agreement, and even that was kind of unclear.
No, I'm not going to listen any further because it's like food's threatening to come up. I hear this and I'm getting more and more sick to my stomach hearing this idea.
There is nothing good about this.
No, you're a volunteer, which, by the way, you can volunteer.
Sure.
5 hours a week, whatever extra time you have to say, hey, in good faith.
Sure.
I'll do what I can when I can, and let's hope this thing gets funded and it turns into something. But you're protecting yourself. The other thing is and again, we always answer questions, what would we do if we were in your shoes? Jade will weigh in here on her take. But if I'm you, I'm thrilled I have a 6-month severance, but I don't want to touch that.
Right.
I don't want to live off that. Now, that's just me. So I'm going, all right, I was laid off from a corporation, so I've got a lot of skill and a lot of experience. True or false?
Yeah. True.
Okay. And nothing to be ashamed of. This is not a stain on you. The economy is really weird right now. It's the best way I can describe it. It's not hot. It's not awful. But jobs and corporations, I mean, we're seeing a lot of layoffs. We're seeing a very slow hiring market. So I'm not looking at today's wins and going, man, I feel great about 6 months. I'm going, I want to treat my plight as though I don't have any severance at all. And I got just enough money in the bank to make it a month, Jade. Mm-hmm. So maybe mindset is I got 30 days so that I don't want to be running around like Chicken Little, the sky is falling, sky is falling. But I would be very urgent, and I would not give these people any time that would take away from your ability. Everybody else has got a 40-hour-week job. Ding, ding, ding. So do you need one. And my number one focus is getting back into the job market and getting employed. And we'll see how this thing with my good pastor. And I'm going to say something else just because, and I'm going to give it a disclaimer, and I want Jade to come in and give her take. My disclaimer is I don't know anything about your pastor, and I don't know anything about this business. But there was enough in that to make me go, there ain't nothing about what you told me that makes me think this is anywhere remotely close to a sure thing. And so for that reason, I'm definitely out, and I would just help out and see if it turns into something. Sorry for being a little cynical, Jade, but that's where I sit.
I mean, you turned this into Shark Tank when you said, for that reason, I'm out. And I'm going to take a page from that notebook, and Mr. Wonderful would say there's some ideas you just need to take them out back and shoot them. Yep, this is one of them. And for that reason, I'm out.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts on his urgency?
Oh,
I feel like he's a little too relaxed.
You're
with 6
a little
months.
relaxed, but I think that I'm sensing that you're relaxed because you can go out and get another job today or tomorrow. Like, you're a smart guy. You were good at what you did. I don't think you're concerned with that. My bigger question is that the type of work you want to do anymore? And is that why you were looking towards something like this as kind of a lifeline of, I don't know if I want to do the same kind of work anymore. This kind of seems cool. My question is it time for a career shift? Is that what this is really about? That would be my question on a deeper level. Ken?
Yeah. James? I mean, it sounds to me like you got, I don't know, you've gotten swayed by your pastor who you look up to, and he's pretty excited about this. That's what I think has happened. And it's kind of a shiny object that's distracted you, correct?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, he didn't say we're never going to pay you. He just literally has been juggling this whole project.
Yeah,
from
but there's
day
no
one.
business plan. There's no timeline. There's nothing.
You don't have to
solid
defend him.
here.
We're not attacking him. We're just saying for you right now, this is a shiny object that could distract you. To your credit, you call us to ask us what we think. And we're saying, don't pay attention to the shiny object. Keep walking. Let's walk forward. Let's see if this thing materializes.
Yeah.
Got it?
I mean, sure.
Go ahead.
The one last thing was just like, I was even considering like going back to Bible college. I'm a single guy, no kids, no mortgage, nothing like that. I've considered doing a lot more mission focused, like Christian focused type stuff. And this was kind of what I thought could be like an intersection of both of those. And I was also just wondering more broadly what like Dave and your take would be on pursuing something that doesn't have as much of a guaranteed paycheck, or
you can do
even if it
you can do ministry and still have an income.
Yes, and you could also decide to go be a full-time missionary and make a lot less money.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. That's not what you gave us. You gave us this, well, there's this opportunity, and now you're saying it's a cross-section, and I'm saying it might very well be. It is not now. So if you as a single guy, you want to kick the tires and consider mission work or ministry work,
great,
go for it. But that's a full-time job that if you have to change your lifestyle to meet that new salary, I'm fine with that. But this other deal is not any of those things.
I agree.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's a super exciting volunteer job. So treat it that way. How much time can you give it in line with everything else that you need to do? And what you need to do is figure out what God has for you next. Here's what I am going to do for you. I would love to gift you my book, and it comes with the assessment, the Get Clear Career Assessment. The book's called Find the Work You're Wired to Do. I recommend you take the assessment and read this book. Take about 45-minute reading. It'll really help you make some good decisions about how you're wired and what the next steps are for you. So hang on the line, and we'll get you that book and the assessment.
So this wasn't about a good business idea. This was about shifting a career shift into a different field. That's really what the question was.
I think you nailed it. I think he's been kicked out of the nest, and he's like, okay, he's clearly not on fire financially. He's got 6 months where he can breathe. And here comes this thing that is a shiny object. It's attached to ministry, his church, his pastor. It's all aligning with his heart. And I love that, but we need to use our head too.
That's right.
And I'm a fan of getting the heart and the head aligned.
So important. Then your hands do what they need to be doing.
That's right. So, again, you're in great shape here, but make wise decisions. A lot of prayer, a lot of feedback from other people in your life, not just two people on the air that have taken just a smidge of all of this involved and tried to give you good advice.
I've been doing this show for over 30 years, and some of the saddest calls I have taken are from situations that are completely preventable.
Yeah, and what's so hard is I feel like one of those, especially the ones that I'm like, oh, it's terrible, are people that call in and their spouse has passed away suddenly and they don't have life insurance. We actually took a question of a lady, and she had 3 kids, pregnant, and husband didn't have life insurance. And I'm like, I can't even imagine. Or even if it was opposite, right? If a mom passed away, there's a dad with kids and trying to figure out, how am I going to afford childcare? How do I outsource some stuff that maybe she was doing? And it just takes the grief and the sadness of something like a sudden death to a whole new level. Like when you have to think through, how am I going to pay my bills?
How am I going to eat next week?
Yeah, in the middle of all that grief. Like it's terrible. And so life insurance is the one thing, especially as a mom with 3 little kids, that I'm like, so big on for people to get because it's inexpensive. Zander is the place that Winston and I actually get all of our life insurance, and we keep re-upping it because I'm like, I just want it there. Like there's something about that safety of knowing that you have money if something suddenly happens.
And it doesn't cost much because Zander shops among a gazillion different companies. It doesn't cost much. You just have to admit that someday you're not going to be here. You got to say it out loud, and you got to say, I'm going to say I love you to my family by taking care of them and taking the time to put this stuff in place. It costs us stinking pizza.
It really is. So that is one thing to do, to say I love you to your family.
So we've used Zander for all of our family's needs for insurance for many years, including, of course, term life insurance. To get a free quote, go to 800-356-4282. That's 800-356-4282, or go to Zander.com.
Angela joins us next in Mississippi. Angela, how can we help?
Hey, Ken and Jade. Thanks for speaking with me today. I was calling specifically about some advice on instilling contentment at a young age. A little context. We have a 6.5-year-old daughter in first grade, and my husband and I, we have financially decided to invest in her future and send her to a private Christian education. And so that's where a large part of our income goes every month. And we are already seeing a keeping up with the Joneses issue arising. So she's in first grade, she's coming back, and she wants what her friends have. I can name a few examples, but they're really creepy little fuzzy keychain critters, and it's little things like that where you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
It's little things like that where we had no intention of getting her one or anything like that, and quite honestly, she didn't even know what it was until she went to school.
Sure, right.
And everybody else had them. So we see this problem arising of, even as she gets older, of going to school and, wanting what all the quote unquote cool kids have, or,
Listen,
what
that's
may
going to
be more
happen.
fluent.
That's going to happen no matter what, regardless of what school they go to.
Yeah. And so my husband and I were just wondering, how do we start teaching her contentment now before it gets bigger? We've done FPU for kids with her, and so she's super excited about her envelopes and has like the biggest heart, loves to save, loves to give, also really loves to spend. And so how do we transition this into just being content with what you already have? Because saying, oh, well, just be grateful for what you already have, not all kids have X, Y. That only goes so far with a 6-year-old.
Yeah, listen, Angela, I am in that boat with you right now. I have a kid in second grade. I have a kindergartner, and I am having those same conversations all the time. And you want to know what I think part of it is when you're a kid, I mean, you're born selfish, right? It's give me my food when I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does everything for me. The world kind of revolves around them. And when they see something they want it. And especially if their friends have it, they want it too. So part of that's just the nature of being a kid. And I'll tell you where I'm at now. I don't know that I'm right because I'm not ahead of you. Ken can probably give us some better judgment here. But what I'm at right now is I feel like I'm planting seeds. So if I'm planting the seeds, I usually don't see the crop for quite a while, and it can be tempting to think that if I plant the seed, then tomorrow I'll see the fruit, and it's just not like that. So I've kind of told myself, I'm telling them, hey, the things aren't what make you happy. This is gonna, you've got to learn to be happy with what you have. You don't have to look at other people, right? I can plant all of those seeds, and then I've got to just wait for them to grow. And then the other part for me is, what am I like? Am I a person that every time I go to the store, I have to buy something? Am I a person that every time I see something, I'm commenting on it and saying, oh, I wonder if I can get that, right? I also have to check myself and make sure, what am I putting into the house? Because if I'm a person who seems like every time I walk in the house, I have shopping bags, well, then I'm not really helping my case here. So that's where I'm at. Ken, you're the wise old owl here.
Well, you got part of it right. I'm the old owl. I don't know how wise I am, but our kids are 20, 17, and 16, and my wife Stacy did a phenomenal job on this, and I can tell you some of the things that we did. And I would tell you, at this age, 6 years of age, you're going to have to show more than tell. I like what Jade said. I do think you have the object lesson, and I think you share soundbite, because that's all a 6-year-old's going to pay attention to.
Right.
But I will tell you that as consistently as you can, a short little bumper sticker response when she says that, just go, you know what? You're going to learn one day we can't have everything we want. Some little, whatever you want to say, trust your instinct and say it, but it's not in a sit-down lecture because the 6-year-old just can't process it. What I mean by show, not tell, is some of the things that Stacy did. We did this early on when the kids were about that age, 6 or 7. We started dialing back on Christmas. We got some great advice from an older couple, and we started giving the kids just 3 gifts for Christmas, as an example.
Mm-hmm.
And we would do 3 equally great gifts. In other words, we got their list, and instead of 10 things, we gave them 3, so it was less than they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an object lesson. They were like, oh, but all 3 gifts were awesome.
Yeah.
And then we told them that they had to take one of their 3 gifts, and they had to choose a child at the Children's Hospital to give it to. And we took them to Children's Hospital in Atlanta, and they had picked out one of their 3 amazing gifts, and they gave it to a kid who was very, very sick. And
I love this.
that was something that, again, no credit there. That was an older couple told us that, and we did that for about 3 or 4 years. And I will tell you that taught our kids as much as anything that we ever told them.
Tell us be 100% real. The first year you did that, how did they take it? What did they do?
Well, they're young enough to where it's not a complete attitude thing. Like, I wouldn't recommend you throw this on 11 and 12-year-olds.
Sure.
Because at that point, it's like, I'm not saying the horse is out of the barn, but it's a lot of attitude you got to deal with.
But what, a kindergartner and
they were
a second
like,
grader.
What are we doing? Like, they needed some clarification. You're telling me that I got to pick one of these 3 and we're going to give it. And we was like, yeah, we're going to.
Did they think they were getting in trouble? Did they read it as a consequence?
No, I think they got it conceptually until they went down to Children's Hospital and they walked the gift in and they personally handed it to a different kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they got it. And I think we could have done that in a lower income area. It doesn't have to be a children's hospital, but the idea is show, not tell. And you're trying, because your question, Angela, was how do we teach contentment? And the way I think you teach contentment is you show them how good they have it, not tell them how good they have it, show them. And so that's what, you can take that and ideate and do your own version of that.
I'm going to do exactly that.
But here's what it did. When they weren't thrilled,
I'm sure they weren't. I'm thinking about what my kids would do.
But
I know Angela's thinking about what her daughter is going to do.
But they weren't thrilled. But here's the thing. They understood it.
It made it not just about them.
Yeah, it wasn't mom and dad are trying to ruin Christmas. It was mom and dad are trying to show us that there are people in this world that are my age that look a lot like me. And they are in a worse situation than me. And I'm giving them, out of my goodness, I'm giving them some of the goodness in my life. I do think that plants a very important seed.
Wow.
Yes, I agree.
That's so good. I'm thinking about it.
It's tough, by the way, as a parent.
Well,
Let me also say, it's not easy to say that.
Oh my God. Well, I'm putting myself in you guys' shoes now.
It's tough.
Because you want to know, I'll tell you, Angela, what I was thinking as Ken was saying that. Next thing I'm thinking is, well, when you got back home, I'd want to have another gift sitting there waiting for them.
No, but that's not.
Then it takes away from it, I know.
And keep in mind.
My question about it was, at our church, my daughter's really excited about the angel tree or the giving tree of adopting a family and buying things for them. And we've explained, like, these are families that, if it weren't for us, they wouldn't have anything for Christmas. And maybe they just need some clothes. And she gets super, like, she wants to go buy the whole store for them and give them the world. And so that desire is there. But I'm wondering if that's just a little less effective than what you just brought up.
Think
it's not something that was hers that she's giving.
Well, here's what I would tell you. Does she get an allowance of any type?
Nope, we don't do allowances. We do commissions for her earning her money.
So, okay, great. Sorry. Yeah, I used, Dave hates allowance. Okay, here's my point.
You're fine.
I would take her commissions and say, you're going to adopt a family out of your money. Like, get her money in the game. I think it's just as powerful as a lesson as what I shared. That was just one idea.
I like
idea
the
is
part
we're
of
modeling
seeing it, though, Ken.
Well, that's my point. If she takes her commission and she goes and buys the gifts and then hands it to the little girl and their family, the point is they need to see others that are not. Listen, kids can pick up on, ooh, they don't have it as good as us.
Yeah, they
can. Need to see it and feel it.
Times are tight, and one of the easiest ways to save more money right now is to stop overpaying for your phone plan. Boost Mobile gives you one low monthly price, just $25 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And that price never goes up. With Boost, there are no contracts, and they're so sure you'll love it, they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. So take the easy win and switch today at boostmobile.com/Ramsey. That's boostmobile.com/Ramsey.
Restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com/Ramsey for details.
Hey, if you all are getting something out of the show, it's helping you. We would love for you to help us. The best way to grow our show is for you to share, because you have so much credibility. So like, share, subscribe, however you're listening, wherever you're listening, and give us all the ratings, the follows, all the things. I can't keep up with it anymore, but you know what they are. We would appreciate that so much. Chloe is joining us now in Houston, Texas. Chloe, how can we help?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's going on today?
My mom recently passed, and before
I'm so
this,
sorry.
Thank you. I was kind of just
tell us what happened.
on the journey of, I was on the journey of just working on my baby steps before this loss. So now I'm just trying to navigate. I have 6 younger siblings. They're minors, and I'll be taking them on full time. So I'm just trying to figure out as far as like
bless you,
her home goes. We did have some conversations before she passed, and she was wanting to get a bigger house to fit the kids. And she does still have a mortgage. So I don't know if it would be smarter for me to keep the home and just keep paying on it, or, sell it and, of course, pay the mortgage company off. And
what is your living situation? Do you own a home or are you renting?
No, I'm renting, but I mean, my lease is up next month. So
okay.
Can you even put all of the siblings in there with you? Is there enough room?
No, not in my apartment. No, I will be letting this apartment go and trying to figure out, this with my mom's house.
What's the mortgage on your mom's house?
She owes $65.
Okay,
and it's like $1,200
a month,
something monthly.
Did you get the house? Is that still up in the air as to who gets the house now that she's no longer with us?
No, I would be getting a home.
Okay.
What's your current rent?
Yeah.
My current rent, I don't really have rent. My partner, he works for a company.
Okay,
yeah.
So
so it's a company apartment that he's getting?
Right.
Okay, so tell me about your income, just you.
Just me. I'm making $58K in salary, but I'm also working 2 part-time jobs, which I probably won't be doing them for long now that this just happened.
Okay.
They only make like $500 every week.
Now, let me make sure I understand. You're working 2 part-time jobs in addition to the $58,000 job?
Yes.
Well, look at you. What are you doing that for? What's all that hustle for?
She had been sick for a while, and I was kind of just helping with bills, but I also wanted to pay, some of my debt off. So I started this about 2 months ago.
Good for you. I'm so impressed with your hustle. What kind of debt do you have?
Honestly, I don't have a lot of debt. My car is like $21,000. And then I do have a student loan for $10,000, and then collections is like $4,000, multiple things in that amount.
Okay.
Like $4,000.
So the good news is, let's say, okay, you just at your base job, you're bringing home $4,000 a month. Yes.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Okay. And if you did pick up a smaller, you let 2 of the 3 side hustles go, right? The good news is the mortgage is right at 25%, right where you want it to be. So that's not a terrible thing. It's just getting accustomed to a life where you're paying rent or paying a mortgage, right?
Right.
Then from there should still be a little bit, you're going to have to adjust to what it's going to be like to support 6 siblings. Can you tell us the ages of the siblings?
5, 7, 13, 2 15-year-olds, and a 16-year-old.
Okay. And is the 5-year-old in kindergarten yet?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody's in school 8 hours a day.
Do you have aftercare? I mean, how will this affect your ability to do your job for the youngsters?
So I would probably have to let my part-time jobs are usually like evening times through the night. So I would have to let those go because they get out of school around like 4:30, you know.
So you can. So this won't. The point is this taking care of the little ones that are obviously need supervision. You can keep your $58,000. That's not going to affect that job at all. Just the 2 part-time.
Oh no,
right?
No,
okay, good.
Not at all.
So I love you getting rid of the 2 part-time jobs, at least in the short term, just to see what this new rhythm is going to be like. Bless your heart, you guys.
Chloe, you're amazing.
You really are.
You're amazing.
Wow.
I mean, I gotta believe that. I gotta believe you knew this was coming, right? You said she was sick for a while. Had you thought about this day and kind of started thinking about what that would mean for you, or is this all hitting you suddenly?
We definitely weren't expecting her to pass like anytime soon. We were hoping for her to recover. But I did think about if this did happen, what that would look like.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
How long ago did she pass?
On the 1st. So it's very recent.
Oh, Chloe, bless your heart. You are just going through it right now. We're so sorry.
Yeah, that's so tough. But you are rising to the occasion in some very amazing ways right now. On behalf of all the siblings, I'm just saying thank you because somebody needed to step in, and the fact that you is so incredible.
Let's talk about this house, though. That's the big question she called in with.
She can afford it.
She can. Where's your partner come in on this? You know,
he's fully on board. He's been in the family, and we went to high school together. So he knows my family really well, and they love him.
How old are you?
I am 30.
Okay. Okay. Just double checking.
All right, Chloe, which way were you leaning before you called us as it relates to this house? What were you leaning towards doing? I know this is all super fresh.
I honestly wanted to get a bigger house due to the fact that a lot of work needs to be put into the house.
Okay.
And I've thought about that every which way. You know, AC needs to be replaced. Foundation is messed up.
Okay.
There's a lot of different things that need to be done in the home. And I just, rather than putting that money into it, I'd rather just sell it as is and just move forward.
You don't need a project in your life right now. Knowing that, what are you thinking?
Well, now my question goes to money. Do you have any money saved?
Unfortunately, no, not anymore. I mean, I have like the $1,000 saved.
Yeah.
But all of the rest of that, what I did have saved, I had to spend it on her funeral arrangement.
Yeah.
So that has tanked my savings.
I'm gonna tell you just some mathematics. This is not emotional at all. I look at a $65,000 mortgage that likely has a really great interest rate on it, and I think to myself, I'd rather be on the hook for $65,000 and have to replace a roof and maybe do $10,000 of work on a foundation, or even $20,000 of work on a foundation, than getting into today's housing market where you're at now, with the median home price being $424,000, where you're going to have to put 60% down, right? That
is it livable? Yeah, I agree with you. Is it livable though, Chloe? I mean, in other words, all those things are true, but could you live in it for a season until you guys got out of this, learn what this new rhythm of life looks like, figure out what we can do to fix it. Is it livable?
It's livable, but I would have to for sure the plumbing part of it, and some other minor things.
I tell you what,
because my point is you can't get into another house today. That's my point.
No, but I wonder if she just rents, and we tell a lot of people renting is a good move in certain situations.
That's true.
And I wonder if she gets this headache out of her life, and doesn't have to worry about it on top of everything else, having to come in and mother these siblings. She's in grief.
If you can rent something that's no more than 25 to 30% of your what you're taking home, I'm okay with that, and selling this and taking the money if there is, and holding that over for a later time. That's yeah.
I just think this is a tough reset, a whole new life for her, and I don't think having a money pit of a house is a good play.
That's true.
I'd rent for right now, and you and your partner come up with a good plan going forward.
I love entrepreneurs. Don't forget, guys, I started my company on a card table myself, so I know what it's like to have people counting on you, your team, your family, not to mention your customers. And when you're the one signing the paychecks, you can't afford to fly blind. But I'll be honest, early on, one thing that nearly sunk us was wasting time with spreadsheets that didn't add up because business units didn't talk to each other. I finally told my team, just fix it. And they did. We got NetSuite. That was years ago, and we've never looked back. See, NetSuite isn't just for tech giants. It's built for growing businesses like yours. Over 43,000 businesses already run on NetSuite, including a lot that started just like you. And now, with built-in AI, NetSuite is helping them even more. It's one system connected to every part of your business for real-time insights, not guesswork. NetSuite AI flags inventory issues, cash flow risks, even supplier delays before they become problems. So you can trust the data, stop wasting time, and make the right decisions faster. Take a free product tour today at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
All right, let's go to Sadie in Colorado. Sadie, how can we help you today?
Hi, Ken and Jade. Thank you so much for taking my call. I must admit, I'm a little bit starstruck. I enjoy listening to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Well, we are appreciative of you listening, and I know that you're starstruck because Jade is here. And trust me, she's very down to earth. She's going to treat you very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. What's going on?
Well, so I'm in the midst of trying to, I guess, move to a transition to a employment that I really feel is a good connection for me with my abilities and gifts and everything. I did take your assessment, Ken.
Okay.
I'm still working on reading your book, but I did take your assessment, so I do have a better idea of my giftings and everything.
Do you have your results close by in case I want to ask about it?
I do.
Okay, we'll just hold. I don't know that we need to get to it yet, but we might.
Okay.
All right.
So with that in mind, I am subbing right now. I'm a day-to-day sub. Sometimes I get long-term sub assignments. I make about, we'll say, $40,000 a year, an average of $3,300 a month. I enjoy subbing, but I really love creating, and I love writing like poems, songs. I'm right now partnering with a publishing company to do a story, like take one of my poems and make it a story. And it's about a national park that I visited, and so, but the cost of that is $8,500, and I have had a couple of songs produced, which, like it costs money for that too, but this one is kind of a big chunk of money to get my poems made into a book. So I'm a little hesitant because I have $12,000 in savings. It's $8,500 to work with this publishing company, and I make about, right now, without a long-term sub assignment, just day-to-day subbing, we'll say about $2,000 a month.
Are you single?
A month.
Are you single income?
I am single income. Yeah, I am single income. I do live with my mom. I lived on my own for about 7 years when my dad passed away. Shortly thereafter, I ended up moving. You know, I moved in with my mom. You can use the support and the help.
Sure.
And
How old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay.
Do you have any debt?
I don't. Thanks to Dave Ramsey and
And
me
the
working with Dave Ramsey.
$12K and the $12K in savings, does that represent your emergency fund?
That is accessible, so it's kind of whatever I need it for, I can grab it.
No,
but I also have about. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to make sure. Do you have an emergency fund?
Is the emergency fund the $1,000?
So baby step 1 is the $1,000 before you pay the debt off. You said you don't have any debt, which means baby
No
step
debt.
3, you have 3 to 6 months saved. So does this represent 3 months of expenses? 6 months?
I could. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it would have that in it because
it
your
takes-
$2,000 a month is
yeah.
what you're making?
Yeah, exactly. And
All
what
right.
I can live off of.
Okay. All right. I have enough information.
Okay.
I don't think you should spend $8,500 on anything
Okay.
at this stage.
Okay.
Given your income, I'd like to
Okay.
see you have way more in savings because you have such a
Okay.
small income. In other words, I would want you saving for other things, right?
Okay.
Like sinking funds. And I won't get too far into that. I'll let Jade, and maybe she doesn't think it's too much. Let me tell you why I think it's too much.
Okay.
$8,500 is such a huge chunk of your savings. You just don't
is.
have it. So that's my number one. So we don't want to ever put the emergency fund into any kind of trouble, and we should never pull from the emergency fund unless it is in fact an emergency. And you've got at least $6,000 in there. We're saying is 3 months. So the other thing is both of us are published authors. Okay. And I know a lot of people in the publishing game. I know the independent publishing game. I know just enough to get me in trouble, which means just enough to give you good advice on this.
Okay, good.
I don't think you're at a stage of life where you need to be spending $8,500 to publish a book of your poems when you can go do it on Amazon for pennies on the dollar. And let's show our work. There's a great book that I'm going to recommend you buy. And it's by a guy by the name of Austin Kleon. Kleon, and it's called Show Your Work. And it's about half an inch thick. You can read it in 30 minutes. It's very illustrative. As a creative, you will love it. But it is my homework assignment for you as to what you need to do before you ever think of spending this kind of money with a pseudo or hybrid publishing model. Let's get your work out through self-publishing means that are max hundreds of dollars at max, and let's put our work out and see how they do, and let's show our work and see where we stand, instead of spending at this stage of your burgeoning writing career and where you are financially. I don't like this move because I think here's what's going to happen. I think you're going to spend $8,500 and you're going to sell just as many copies as you would if you spent $85.
Okay.
Now, that sounds like I'm stepping on the dream.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I feel that way, but I'm telling you from experience, you would be better off doing research and going, all right, what is the process for creating an ebook of my poems on Amazon and selling on Amazon? You got a link.
Yeah, please
you don't have
do
to
it
worry
that
about
way.
it.
You sell it through social media. Yes.
And
then you don't
test it.
have to sell
That's
a zillion copies before you break even on the $8,500 you spent.
That's right.
Right?
Okay.
So I agree with Ken. You have $12,000 saved. Do you have any other money in retirement? Anything?
I do have about $20,000 in retirement.
Okay. I want to take a stronger approach. Do I have permission?
Sure.
I think that you need to take a long look in the mirror because when you started telling us, you were kind of making it seem like, hey, I'm living with my mom. She needed my help. She went through this thing. And that may be true. But without her, you couldn't be living right now. If you weren't living there.
It would be tight.
No.
Okay.
$2,000 a month, ma'am. You can't live on that. And you can't do that subbing here and there. So you got to make this a full-time deal. Now I'm all about chasing dreams. You're talking to the creative herself. Like, I love what you said about the poems, and I love that for you. I would never try to take that from you. But in the meantime, you must work. You must because you're 44.
Right.
And you will look up, and the time will come when you can no longer do the work you want to do because your body won't let you do it. And you've got to have something there. And you've got to create that foundation now. You've got time. I'm not saying you don't have time, but if you don't start moving, that window to make this right gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And I don't want you to miss that window.
Okay. Well, I didn't think I was going to be crying.
I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. That's why I'm telling you.
Listen, we're not trying to discourage you. We're trying to encourage you.
Yes.
Don't let the creative stuff die.
Yeah.
But you got to test it. If you had called me and said, I want to spend $8,500 to open up a food truck where I'm going to sell some type of food, I would have said the exact same thing. I'd have been like,
it's not the
let's see if we can sell it in our neighborhood first. You know, we got to test. What most people don't think about in this wonderful country called America, where we can start anything at any time, we don't think about the testing part. We just think about the launching part.
That's right, Ken.
And we've got to test. So please be encouraged. But listen, Jade's right, and I think she was the one person that could say it. You know, what are your relationship dreams? You don't have to answer these questions, but what are your relationship dreams? And what are you doing to live your life the way that you want to live? And you don't have to necessarily do this on your own. And there is a time and a place to fully launch into something like poems or whatever. Keep writing about what moves you, and then show your work. And I promise you, please get that book and do exactly what Austin tells you. Super easy, functional way for you to test your stuff and see what other people say and see if the stuff that moves my heart, some of the stuff that moves my heart moves other people's hearts. Ding, ding, ding. Now we've got something.
And in the meantime,
let's go get a really good job.
Yes.
And let's stay with mom just long enough to really get on our feet. And let's get out in the real world. You know?
Yeah, my mom has a condition where it'll be indefinite, but...
That's okay. You can stay and take care of her, but don't let that stop you from launching into making a full salary. You are smart and capable and have so much to offer.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Show in the Fairwinds Credit Union studio alongside Jade Warshaw and Ken Coleman. Dustin is going to start us off here in New York. Dustin, how can we help today?
Hi there. Thanks so much for taking my call.
You bet. What's going on?
I have a question about housing and budgeting. So let me give you a little bit of context. My wife and I are in our early 30s. We've been working baby steps. We've been married about 2 years, and at about the 1.5 year mark, we finished paying off around $70,000 worth of debt.
Way to go.
Thank you. And so we currently live in a one-bedroom co-op in the Hudson Valley, which costs us around $1,600 a month. So with that in our budget, we're able to save between $3,000 and $4,000 a month, and we've been doing that since we got married. And so we have a 7-month-old now, and in the coming May, we're going to have our second child. And so that's a lot of people to put in a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
So to get to a bigger place, it would be about $2,400 a month at least in this area, just because it's the Hudson Valley. And our child care costs are likely to go up in the coming August once paternity and maternity leave is done. And so my question is, do we stick it out here? Because our long-term plan is to move out of state in about 2 years once my mother-in-law retires. And so we're saving up for a down payment. But in the meantime...
That's my question.
Indiana. We want to go to Indianapolis.
In about 2 years?
In about 2 years.
Okay. How much money have you got saved up?
So we currently have around $17,000 saved up. We just finished paying off all of our debt, so we're just getting started on that saving process.
But you're saving a lot per month, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. And our living situation really helps with that. And, we got family nearby and all that. So the location is good. It's just the square footage is not great.
Yeah.
And so, do I sell our co-op in the meantime so that during that 2-year waiting period, we can have a, more expensive but larger place? Or do we just kind of stick it out in the one bedroom with 4 people?
I mean, if what I would do is I'd stick it out for as long as I possibly can, because the more that you can save on your living is the more money that you can save for a potential down payment. And I don't have to tell you you need a lot of money saved for a down payment these days, right? So the more that you can get saved in the next 2 to 2.5 years, that would be my number one goal. Matter of fact, I'd run it back and say, okay, based on Indianapolis home prices and based on what we want.
Which I got you over here.
Thank
Whenever
you.
you're ready. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. We're going to plug that in, and then we're going to run it back and say, okay, what must be true for us to move in? And then that is the silver bullet of what we're saving for in the next 2.5 years. So Ken,
all right,
hit me.
I'm your assistant.
Yeah.
I'm giving you some numbers here.
My computer died, so I don't have
it's
it.
okay. I got you.
All right, you got it?
That's what I'm here for.
All right. So in Indianapolis.
So an average price for a 3-bedroom home. I did 3-bedroom because it's going to feel like a castle to him.
Love it.
I love hearing the little one in the background. That's real. We like that, folks. $230 to $299. $230 up this approximately.
Okay.
$230,000 to $299,000.
Okay.
Some specifics if you look at Marion County. Because I typed in
that
greater Indianapolis area.
Okay.
So this is this is the homework you need to do, my friend. But you got Marion County, median price is $229. Hendricks County, median price is $303. Johnson County, median price is $298.
So let's add
other
some
surrounding. So you're in that $230,000 to $300,000.
And then let's add a little inflation to that. Let's say $240, right? That's what I would say, because this is 2.5 years from now. So you say $240. And then knowing that what you're attempting to do is put 25% down, then you can go in and plug in estimated taxes and insurance and all of that. And that number is what you need to be working towards.
I got him at, if you guys continue to save, if I was listening correctly, you were saving $3,000 to $4,000 a month. You guys can have a shot at getting close to $100,000. Just your savings, not including any equity in the co-op, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
what's your equity in the co-op?
We think, based upon comps that I've run in the area, that I can get around 50 after the sale, and so that brings us pretty close to that 20% down payment with what we have saved.
Great.
And we're targeting a house in Indianapolis around the $300,000 mark.
Great.
Love that.
That's very doable. And I'm with Jade then. Listen, the babies don't know. This is going to be tough on you and Mom. But you know what? 2 little babies, these are going to be memories that you two talk about when the kids are long gone.
For sure.
And you're going to be like, we did it. And I think since we're not asking the kids to suffer, you guys aren't really suffering, but it is a form of suffering. And I'm with my partner on this one. Listen, she and Sam, I brag about this. She and Sam had one car for how long?
10 years.
And how many years after you actually had the money to buy a car?
Long. Let's see.
So,
we were done in 2018. I didn't buy a second car till we got here, which was 2022.
Yeah, which I don't recommend. I think she's bananas, but she's the real deal. So I'm with Jade. I 100% would suck it up. They're little ones. It's going to be crazy anyway. 2 years is going to fly when you got 2 babies.
Yep.
You know?
I know that's right.
The days are long, but the years are short.
That's right.
And I'm with Jade 100%. I'd tough it out and then make the triumphant entry into Indianapolis with a really, really nice down payment. And by the way, cost of living there, fantastic. So, man, you're going to feel like from Hudson Valley to the greater Indianapolis area. Oh, man. Yeah. What a change.
Unless.
Looking forward to that.
Wait a second.
No.
Hold on, Dustin. She's got an idea.
No, it's not an idea. I was just about to throw some bait into the water.
Go for it.
I was going to throw.
Go for it.
You said it's a really great cost of living there, and I was going to say
Compared to the Hudson Valley.
Unless everybody in New York gets spooked and starts going to places like Indiana and Florida and Tennessee.
Oh, we have some people raising their hands out there in
you
the
know
lobby.
what I'm saying? Indiana is the new Tennessee for
y'all
New Yorkers.
Are y'all leaving upstate New York? I met you all earlier. Is that what you did? Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now, I'm not trying to spook you, but I'm just saying.
But
the migration is real.
They're more mature. Can we say that? They're a little bit more mature in age.
I'm just saying that
I think
there are predictions being made. I'm just saying about another great migration.
Oh, well, we'll see.
We'll see. The times will tell.
Now's the time, folks.
I thought I was setting you. That's why I said I was putting a line in the water.
No, I'm not going to take it.
Take
I'll say this. When people say they're going to leave this country based on some political change, number one, it's their right to say it. We saw a lot of celebs say it. A few actually did it.
Instead, they just went to Indiana.
They went to England.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
The celebrities I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But, listen, are people going to leave over stuff like that? You better believe it. We saw massive migration from California. We saw it here in Middle Tennessee. Certainly a lot of people moving to Florida. It's certainly going to happen. But I don't think, and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law live in Indianapolis, so I apologize ahead of time. Of all the places people are going to flee from New York, I don't think it's Indianapolis. And I'm not throwing shade at any of my friends. It's a nice area, sir. It's a lovely area, but it's not on the top of anybody's list. Is that fair? Even he's acknowledging me. He's like, well, you make a good point. Lovely place to live. Is it a top destination? I don't think so. All right, the Ramsey Show question of the day is brought to you by Why Refi. When your private student loans are in default, it's easy to feel ashamed or stuck. Why Refi will not judge you. In fact, they'll help you rebuild, refinance, and regain control. Visit whyrefi.com/Ramsey. That's YREFY.com/Ramsey. Not available in all states.
Okay, today's question comes from Bailey in Maryland. They say, we currently have $7,500 in credit card debt and an $800,000 home loan. Now, the home is worth $1 million. We have around $50,000 invested in single stocks to give to our kids when they are adults and out on their own. The kids are now 10 years old, and we are investing regularly for them. On one hand, I feel like we should cash in these to put towards our debt. However, I also know that time is such a huge factor in long-term investing, and I won't make that much of an impact on such a large debt. We currently make $175,000 per year combined. What should be our priority? Okay, so the $7,500 in credit card debt, and it sounds like that's the only consumer debt that you have. Okay, the rest of it, $800,000 on the home loan, that is not part of baby step 2. Baby step 2 is we pay off everything except the house. So on your salary of $175,000 per year, unless there's a typo on this, why don't you reach over yesterday and pay off the $7,500 in credit card debt? Unless that's a typo, I don't understand where the problem is. Now, we can talk about how I think your money is best invested. That's kind of beside the point right now. But no, you don't need to liquidate that stock to pay off this debt. You can cash flow that in 2 seconds is my point. Now, if we keep going and we're talking about on down through the baby steps, do you need 3 to 6 months of expenses saved? Yes, you do. Now we can talk about, is there any money at our disposal that we can start to do this? If I were you, I would still take my salary and I would cash flow 3 to 6 months. Now, this money that you invested for your kids, if it were me, I would pull it out of single stocks and I would drop it in a 529 plan. That's what I would do, because single stocks is not the best way to invest money anyway. Now, if you said, well, Jade, if I just invested in the market, I have more investments open that I can use, blah, blah, blah. If you wanted to park it in some sort of a brokerage, I suppose you could do that, but it's not the best tax advantage for you. That's why I would do a 529. That's what I would do with this $50,000 invested. I would then turn around, cash flow 3 to 6 months, and then you're off to the races. And then baby step 6 is when you're going to pay off this home. Okay, so that's kind of how this works. With the money that you have, you're going to be putting extra payments toward this mortgage for a long time until it's done, or, paying a little here and a little there until it's done. But it's not something that you have to do in baby step 2. I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah, good advice. I can't add anything to that. Also, I want to mention our new Every Dollar is here. It's way more than the world-class budgeting app that we've been talking about. I was meeting with the team the other day. I was like, hey, I want to get in on the inside of this thing. I'm looking at it, playing around with all the new features. And the best I could come away with, I said, guys, this is literally like someone could get on the app, and with all the questions they're going to answer in the first 10 minutes, it's like talking to us on the air, but way more detailed, and you get all kinds of content. And they're like, that's exactly what it is. Plus, you can get access to a real live person who is a coach, one of our financial coaches right here. So fantastic stuff. And the average person finds thousands of dollars of margin in just the first 15 minutes. So start Every Dollar today for free by getting it in the App Store or Google Play.
You know what? Let me run back what I said to Bailey in Maryland. You know what? I'm thinking about it. The $50,000, you have an $800,000 home. You need a 3 to 6 month emergency fund today. I probably would liquidate it and use that as my emergency fund and then restart with the 529s.
All right.
Final answer.
Final answer, folks. She has spoken. Kevin is up in California. Kevin, how can we help today?
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. My question is, I am 21 in my final year of college with $50,000 and no debt, and I'm not really sure what to do, but I have a few options, with my main one being real estate, as my family has said they'll go 50-50 in investment property if I figure out the whole process in purchasing and going about the investment property.
Did you say 50 or 60,000?
50.
50, okay. And when do you finish school?
I finish in May.
Okay, and your degree is in?
Business.
And what do we want to do? What are we looking for? What's that job we're looking for?
I'm going to be starting full-time in the fall as a business analyst.
Congrats. How much will we be making?
I want to say I'm very privileged and I'm very thankful, but around 120 to 130,000.
Okay, great. And you have zero debt?
Zero debt.
Okay.
My family made a deal where if I go to community college for 2 years and then transfer to a 4-year, they'll pay for my 2 years in normal.
Wow. Okay, I just wanted to get a quick snapshot for Jade and I on your total financial picture so that we can now address the question. And if we can go back into the question, you've got the $50,000 in savings, and you're going, what should I do with that? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, now the $50,000 is invested in the market, but I don't really trust myself in the market because I just don't really like the market. I'd rather.
How is it invested in the market? Be specific. Is this in a mutual fund or is this in single stocks?
Sadly, I know it's terrible, but single stocks.
Wow.
Okay. All right. What's not the end of the world here?
Okay.
It's just not the strategy. All right. Jade, jump in here.
So what do you want to do? Is this a home for yourself, or is this some kind of rental? Like, what are you thinking?
I would want it to be a rental. I want it to be a rental.
Can I ask why a rental and why not a place where you're just living? Learning about what it means to own a home?
Yeah. So because I'm going to be graduating, after I graduate, I'm planning on, and again, I'm very thankful for this, but living with my family, with my parents, because my job, I'm traveling like half the year, and then the other half of the year, my parents are traveling themselves. And so I didn't see the point of having my own home, even though all my friends are going to be living and moving out.
So let me tell you what I would do. Knowing what you've said, I would combine the best of both worlds. And I'm going to ask more questions to make sure that you're in this position. But if you're in the position to buy, I would buy a home and I would make the home for me, but I would also have roommates. And I would have roommates that live there so that while I'm traveling, I'm still bringing in income, but I also have this place that's my own that I'm learning what it is to live in a home. I've launched out of my parents' house. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're getting the best of both worlds where you're feeling independent, but you're also still feeling like you're bringing in rental income. Does that make sense? The only caveats to that are, number one, you would need to be able to pay the rent on your own or pay the mortgage on your own, no problem, even if you didn't have roommates. That'd be number one. And then number two, you'd have to meet the normal criteria for what we would say is a proper home buying experience, which is the payments no more than 25% of your take-home pay. You're out of debt, which you said you are, and you've got 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting aside. Now, my screen says that you don't think you need an emergency fund. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, my parents are pretty involved in my life, and if something were to take a turn for the worse, I think they'd be there for me.
Why can't you be there for you, though? Why wouldn't we set ourselves up for you to be there for you? Since you're,
Very true.
you're 21.
Very true. Honestly, you have a great point.
Can I ask a question? Because you've been very humble.
You are.
And I think you're being very, very delicate here in how you choose your words. So I'll ask, are your parents very wealthy?
I would say they're comfortable to a sense.
Okay, but they're not. But it's not a trap question, because I wonder if your parents are very, very wealthy and they're saying to you pretty actively, "Hey, listen, do this, we got you here." Then it makes sense to all of your responses, and I love that Jade's going, "That is a blessing," and you've called it that, by the way. But regardless of that blessing, you still need to establish your own life, knowing that mom and dad are very generous and can be. So don't want to put you on the spot with that, but that's what I'm sensing. And I think Jade's advice is actually really, really great. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You're amazing. But I want to find my own way, build my own way, and I want to do it in a way that's very responsible.
And if they're going to match your 50% on the down payment, I think that's wonderful for them to do that. Yes.
All right. Question for the audience here. Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right with your money, but you don't feel like you're getting anywhere? Well, you're not alone. Maybe, just maybe, you've made changes and had a few wins, but something feels off. But it's not because you've messed up. It's because money isn't just math. There's so much emotion tied to the money winning game. And if you're not emotionally where you need to be, it can sabotage all the progress, and that's what Jade Warshaw is taking on in her brand new book, What No One Tells You About Money. And it's the first Ramsey book, by the way, that takes an honest, in-depth look at the emotional side of money. So this is a book that's not been written, and it needs to be written, and it's going to help so many of you who are in the thick and thin. Now, you know the baby steps, but do you know how your emotions are playing out? And you can pre-order this now for $24.99. and get over $100 in free bonus items, including the enhanced audiobook, early access to the ebook, instant access to an exclusive video from Jade, your financial checkup, and then an exclusive 3-week online book club where you get live Q&A with Jade. You can pre-order now to get the best price and all the goodies at RamseySolutions.com/store. That's RamseySolutions.com/store. Jade, I've been able to interview a lot of big-time authors, and I always love to ask them, if there's only one thing that readers can take away from this book, What No One Tells You About Money, what is it that you want them to take away?
Oh, one thing?
I know. It's like asking you to choose between your kids. But what's that if you go, okay, they read this book, and here's what I want them to be able to take away, to be able to do?
I want them to be able to identify what it is that they're feeling at the core of things, because a lot of times it's just running in the background and it's influencing us and we don't know. Behavior, I explain it like this. If behavior is the car, right? We want to get out of debt. That's the behavior. Okay, I'm in the car. Our beliefs are in the driver's seat. I believe I can do it, so I'm ready to operate the vehicle. But our emotions can steer us off track. Emotions steer the wheel.
That's good.
They can make us hit a tree. They make us go in a ditch. They can make us turn around and go the opposite direction. And if you don't feel that, if you don't know it's happening and you don't even realize it, right, Ken? It's showing itself with you having arguments with your spouse just because they stopped off at the gas station to get a Mountain Dew on the way home. Why? Why are you getting so mad about that? Why is it every time you go to the grocery store, you're worried that it's going to overdraw the account? So all of these things are operating in the back. It's operating when somebody brings up student loans and you just get mad as a snake, right? It's all back there. And you need to be able to see, what is it that causes me to be so passive aggressive whenever somebody tells me something that they're winning at with money, right? It's back there and you need to see what it is. I help you identify it and then I help you fix it so you can actually get on track. So I hope that you know that it comes from a very, very real place, that it's not just another expert telling you something to do. It's someone who has stood in the mirror and cried and wondered what was wrong with their life and if they've ruined everything. I've done that. And so I want you to know it's coming from a person who's been exactly where you are. And that's why I can write about it and explain how to get out.
So again, RamseySolutions.com/store. Pre-order it now. Comes out in first week of January. This is a fabulous gift, by the way, for that person who hasn't maybe decided to go all in on this process. But boy, if you can speak to their heart and get where they feel, ultimately you get an opportunity to help them change the way they act. So this would be a great gift, by the way, for that person in your life that struggling with money and can't figure out what they need to do next. Tyler's up in Oklahoma. Tyler, how can we help today?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Yes. What is going on?
Sorry, this is kind of surreal being on here. I've listened to you guys so much. It's crazy. So this is kind of a lot. I'll try to keep it brief. So I am in a tough situation right now. I was working away from home. I was doing a truck driver job, and I was making pretty good money. I was trying to pay off some debt because I do have debt racked up. And I'd been gone for a while, and my wife was kind of like, you got to get home, and I wanted to be home. And so I found something back home that wasn't as good pay, but I took it, and then it kind of fell through. So long story short, I'm back home now with no job. I was making pretty good money. Now I have no income. My wife doesn't work. And so we're in a really tough spot there. And so that's the first part. And then the second part is kind of like, I hated the truck driving job anyway, and I don't really know where to go from here. I've been struggling for a while on like kind of finding my path. Okay. I've listened to you a lot. I actually took your assessment. But I still can't quite figure out like where I want to go.
Do you have your assessment results near you?
I actually do. Yeah, I have them pulled up here. I can read them to you. If
yeah,
you like.
We're going to get to that, but I'm going to go ahead and write it down. Okay, top 3 talents. What you do best?
So I have logic, organization, and justice.
Okay, hold on. Logic, organization, and justice. Okay, all right. Top 3 passions.
Making, finishing, and analyzing.
Making, finishing, and analyzing. All right, and what's your missional result?
Creation.
Oh, so you like to create things. Okay,
right,
we're going to get back to that. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot.
No, I know. Well, we got to deal with the urgent, right? And then we got to win the now, and then we worry about the next.
Yeah.
You got to go to work.
I've been applying for jobs and things like that. I know I've got to find something.
How long have you been out of work?
Just a week and a half.
Okay, great. I would go back to the truck. Because there's a huge need in that area, and I know your wife doesn't like it, but we got bigger problems than how much time you're at home right now.
It's just bread and butter.
And we just got to go where we know there's a need. And I appreciate that you're applying for jobs. This becomes your full-time job, but while you're applying, you're driving around construction sites, you're driving around anywhere where you've got a skill. If you've got a trade skill, in other words, if you're good with a hammer or you're good with a shovel, you have got to start working, and I mean today. And if not today, tomorrow. If I was in your shoes, I'd be going where I could get a check. We need to get checks coming in. And when we get checks coming in, we take care of all of the basics, and we can breathe, which means we're allowed to think a little bit. And when thinking, we actually can think clearly with a thing like the assessment. So I just want to cover that. I don't care what it is. What were you making driving the truck, by the way? I didn't ask that.
I was making a little over $3,000 a week after taxes.
My man, that's a good chunk of change.
It sure is.
It was good money. But I've got 3 kids here at home, and I was gone for 5 months, and it was just
okay. But you can't sit at home and not work.
Yeah. Who?
I know. But
are they better off with you on the road making $12,000 a month, or are they better off you at home with no money coming in?
No, I totally understand. It was really hard being away from them, and things were kind of starting. My wife was struggling here.
Okay. I get that. Let me meet you there. But if you did you drive an 18-wheeler?
Yeah.
Okay. You're qualified to drive a lot of large equipment beyond just a truck, is my guess. True or false?
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, where's the need in your area? This is not resumes. This is you driving up on sites. I know for a fact, because I pay attention to this stuff every day, that the trucking industry, and I understand there's the long haul, but there's also regional, and then there's local stuff. And they need somebody they can depend on. And, buddy, you got a great resume. And you got a good story, by the way. You could say, hey, I was driving 18-wheelers over the long road, but I left because I got 3 little ones at home, and now I need to drive something big and that puts out diesel fuel and stinks because I'm good at it and I can get paid for it and I can take care of my family. You're not applying for jobs you are showing up on sites and a guy hops out of the truck. If you got to go to a daggum truck stop and go, hey, I noticed you're driving a Coca-Cola truck or a Pepsi truck or a beer truck. Are they hiring right now? That's how we apply. And you go get behind the wheel of something that gets you home every night. But I think that's your best bet. Now, on the assessment, here are the 3 questions you got to answer. Who are the people I want to help? What problem or desire do they have? What solution to that problem or desire fires me up? Now, answer those 3 questions while looking at those assessment results and watch the ideas flow. And then please read the book. Hang on the line. We're going to get you find the work you're wired to do. I'll coach you all the way. All right, welcome back. I may have my sheet, James. I don't have my...
I think I have it, Ken.
Do you have it?
The scripture and quote of the day?
I
got you right
so.
here, comrade.
Oh, James, I was so nervous, man. I was looking in my stash here,
I was
folks.
trying to make you sweat.
Hey, it worked. I was like, James, I'm going to need you to
memorized.
read the scripture of the day for us. But hey, fear not, folks. Proverbs 12:15 is our scripture of the day. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. And our quote of the day from Milton Friedman, one of the great economists of all time. The way you solve things is by making it politically profitable for the wrong people to do the right thing.
What a word.
I'm just going to read that again because Milton Friedman, a lot of people don't know who he is. You need to look him up. The way you solve things is by making it politically profitable for the wrong people to do the right thing. Chew on that for several hours, folks, and it'll eventually hit you. I get it immediately, and I think that's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Jason is up in Pennsylvania. Jason, how can we help?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
So my question is revolving around 529 plans. So when I had kids, I wanted to make sure they didn't start their adult life off with debt like I did and like so many other people do. So I opened 529 plans for each of the kids the year they were born. Mm-hmm. Fast forward 18 years, and I was very proud to have invested enough money in the 529 plans to fully fund both of my kids' college educations. As luck would have it, my eldest child, my son, then earned a college scholarship covering his full tuition. Mm-hmm. He's going to graduate in a couple of years with no debt and somewhere north of $150,000 in an account for him.
Okay.
Wow.
So that is kind of where my issue comes in. I got to thinking, and my wife and I got to talking about how do we hand this money off to him and when. Those first handful of years out of college for me, were a struggle, but I think that really taught me a lot of good lessons with debt and with money and being financially responsible. So I don't want to rob him of that. So just looking for a little bit of advice on, how and when and to pass this money to him.
Are you thinking, in terms of how you pass the money, are you thinking of liquidating it and giving him the cash? Are you thinking of just giving it to him as a 529 and suggesting that he change the beneficiary to his future kid? Like, what are your thoughts on that part of it?
Yeah, what I've started in Pennsylvania, if you get a college scholarship, you're able to take that amount out per year, which I've started to do, and I'm moving that into a brokerage account and investing in index funds. So I'm going to give him the brokerage account at some point.
Okay.
We just don't know when. So that will be just a brokerage account opened in his name that he will take over.
I love that you made that transition. Ken, I want you to add to this because your kids are older than mine. I think so much of this depends on what type of kid this is. It depends on how they've managed their money. It depends on what their track record has been. Because I'll tell you straight up, in my mind, if I have a son who has been so responsible and so smart and done so well with his time and his money and all these things and responsible, when the time comes for him to buy a house, I'd love to help with that process, whether it's help 50-50 on the down payment and this is the money that's going to do that. I don't have any problem with that sort of thing as long as it's not enabling in any way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love your advice. I think, listen, all of us who have multiple kids, they're all different and they tend to handle money very different. I'm thinking of my 3 kids as you were talking, and I'm laughing, just the differences between my 3.
Yeah.
Them.
I do.
And
I do.
They're all, I have one, they don't listen to the show, so I could say it.
Yeah.
My boy Chase, let me tell you something.
Don't say the name.
Well, I don't mind. It's great. They will never see this or listen to this in a million years. You give it to him at 21, and it ain't going anywhere. He's going to keep it. He's going to invest in it. It's going to turn a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disparage the other because I'm not. But I'm just saying he's the one where I go automatically. It's a younger age for him. The other 2, I want to see some things. I want to, and they're all great. I love that advice. I thought it was good. I was stepping into your advice in my situation, but I have a little bit of a curveball that goes outside of the 3 and their personalities, because I've toyed with this. So I haven't done this. So don't come at me.
I'm not. I'm
all
listening.
Right. I wonder if, and I love what Jason said, and Jason, I agree with you. I remember coming out of college having nothing. I mean, nothing. Paid my student loans off. That's all I had. I didn't have a car payment, and I just drove a piece of crap forever. I mean, the car I picked Stacy up on our first date, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I do like that they need to figure it out.
I love that part.
And there's part of me that goes, I wouldn't mind just putting it away in a true retirement account. And it's for their retirement. And
okay.
And just let it sit there, and then over time go, hey, by the way, this is something Mom and I wanted to bless you with, and because I don't want them to have the brokerage, I'd want them to have the retirement account. Where I would.
I see where you're going with that. Here's my only.
Actually, I should say it's where I'm leaning on this one. I'm not saying I'm solid on that.
Here's why I like the real estate thing, and I'm not saying right away. Like, I'm not saying when they're at 23 when they come out. What I like about the real estate is they're giving a leg up of building wealth earlier, but it's not I can just access this money and spend it and fall away. It's going into a home, forced savings account. It's building equity, something that's taking people now decades to save for. To be able to have that help is such a big deal. I almost think it could make a bigger impact than having the retirement later, because it's going to influence their day-to-day life and what they're able to do. And that's my own.
I get it.
Either one is good. Either one is good.
The only reason I thought the real long-term is it's like I want them to make their own decisions on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're going to do from a home
But
standpoint.
then at 50 to be like, hey, this is here. It's like, oh.
Like, hey, guys.
That's different.
I've told you, and I've been telling you to do your own thing, but we went ahead and so you got a nice because I think I want to buy them all a house. All right, I do. These are things I want to do. But I think, man, if I could put that money and let it sit and grow, and it's something that goes, hey, you're going to be okay.
Yeah. Everybody would love to get that gift.
They can't touch it.
What would be the age? Not when you die.
No.
For them, would it have to be 60?
Yeah, I'm setting it up as a retirement account. Yeah.
Oh, that's long term.
I get it. I'm not saying, by the way, that's what I'm going to do. I'm saying
just thinking about it.
I went into Jason's call, and I went with him, and I went, what would I do? What could I do? What's the longest term thing that it's a blessing, but there's no temptation?
I think I'd say whichever happens first. You're either 25 and you're ready to buy your first house, or you're 27 ready, or upon marriage, like when you get married.
Okay.
I think I would do that.
Those two. I like that.
And I'm
not sure.
And it wouldn't be cash. It would be
right.
Down payment on a home.
I just think so few people think long term, and I like the long term gift.
There is a nice growth on that. That's different.
I'm just kicking it around. I don't, like I said, that is not a in stone statement for me.
Yeah, I get it. Me neither.
There you go, Jason. And here's the deal. You're such a good dad. Can we just come back to you and go, we gave you some ideas and thoughts, but man, how awesome does it feel for you to be in that position?
I'd like to kick that out to the comments, see what they would say.
There you go. Oh, they'll comment. Jason, what do you think? We'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I thought about some of that too. As far as with that 529 plan in Pennsylvania, we can roll. I think it's up to $35,000 into a Roth.
That's right.
I may do that and then put some of it in a Roth and then put the rest in the brokerage. And
that's
then
what I'm thinking.
A mix of the two.
I love the mix. Yeah. That's very good too. So I don't know. I just look at all these young people and they're not thinking long term. So Jason, you're a good man. Thanks for the call. It's
best of both worlds.
It really is.
Good.
And again, love that where people can see why that 529 is such a good play, because look at that. He's able to do something with that. You're not stuck. People think, oh, what if they don't?
No, you're not stuck.
You're not stuck. It's such a good investment. I absolutely love that. All right. Remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.